creating AI art is.
Yeah.
It's genuinely fun, isn't it? You dial in the exact hair, the precise texture of a hoodie, that perfect expression, and you get this feeling that you've totally mastered the machine.
They feel like a director who just nailed the casting. But that feeling is often pretty fleeting.
Exactly. Then you want to move that perfect character to a new background, or maybe just change their gaze, and the AI serves you a complete stranger. Suddenly the face geometry is different, the hoodie color has shifted, and you're back to playing this frustrating AI lottery.
It's exhausting. Trying to describe what you already made with these complex 50-word text prompts. It's a huge creative bottleneck.
This is where we break that cycle. Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission today is to unpack a tool that really changes the physics of content creation, Google Whisk.
This is Google's dedicated solution for consistency, and it's powered by their most advanced image model, Imagen 3. The goal here is simple, giving you professional-grade control.
We're going to walk you through the system's core genius. It separates the subject, the scene, and the style. It lets you anchor your character like a physical pin on a board.
And we'll show you why this is probably the only way to really scale your AI art, plus cover some advanced tips for refining and editing your final images.
Okay, so let's start with the root of this frustration. Why does this AI lottery even exist in the first place?
Well, because when you use generators like Midjourney or DALL-E, every single time you hit generate, the AI is starting over.
From scratch.
Completely from scratch. It's just drawing a new picture based on the words you gave it. It retains zero visual memory of the last image.
So even with an identical prompt, the randomness is different, and that leads to that visual drift in the character's face.
It's like asking a different artist to redraw the same person every single time, but they only have a written description to go on.
And Google Whisk just throws that whole playbook out. Instead of just relying on long, wordy descriptions, it uses images as the primary guide.
Right. You generate a character, you drag the photo into the sidebar, and you lock it.
That locked visual data it's transformative. It allows the AI to remember the exact facial geometry, the specific hair color, the precise shape of the body.
Which, if you're creating a comic book or a branded avatar, or really any story where recognition matters, that becomes indispensable.
And what's fascinating is the tech behind it. Whisk is built on Imagen 3, which is Google's top-tier image model right now.
And Imagen 3 is really good at understanding small, complex requests. So it can maintain that character anchor while you make really subtle changes to the scene or the action.
That anchoring is possible because Whisk enforces what they call a separation principle.
The background is one layer, the subject is another.
So you can swap people into old scenes or change the style without ever distorting the character's face. It's really accessible, too. It's just drag and drop.
So, okay, I'm trying to get my head around this.
Yeah.
How does locking the image actually stop the AI from starting fresh every time?
It's because it locks that core visual reference data. It forces the separation of the subject's identity from the scene's data.
Ah, okay. So it's smart parsing. It knows what to keep and what to change.
Exactly.
Got it.
Now, before we start locking down our characters, there is a little bit of setup. We have to decide on the aspect ratio, the final shape of the canvas.
And this step is surprisingly critical. People overlook it all the time.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you choose the wrong ratio, you end up cropping your main subject later. And that kind of defeats the whole purpose of getting consistency.
Right. So when you get into the Whisk interface, you look towards the bottom of the screen. There's a little icon that lets you pre-select the dimensions. So 1.1 for squares.
Perfect for standard social media posts.
Right, 9.16 for portrait, which is for phones, stories.
And then 16.9 landscape. That's your cinematic, your YouTube intro look.
Okay, now for the key. The secret to flawless consistency later on is creating the perfect original character first.
And to avoid errors down the line, that initial character has to be created against the simplest background possible.
This is that green screen tip we were talking about.
Exactly. You need to use phrasing in your prompt like standing against a plain green studio background or, solid gray, solid blue, whatever.
So why is that plain background step so vital? It seems a little counterintuitive when the goal is to put them in a complex scene later.
Well, think about it like a real movie production.
Okay.
You film an actor against a green screen, so the editors can cleanly isolate them, right? Edge to edge, for putting them into a CGI world. The AI needs that exact same clean break. It helps the machine distinguish the person from the setting so you don't get messy background bits stuck to them.
So you're just simplifying the AI's job from the get-go.
Precisely. You're setting it up for success by reducing noise first.
Makes perfect sense. After all that setup, we finally get to the payoff. Looking at the sidebar on the screen, you see those three powerful empty boxes: subject, scene, and style.
We start by anchoring the actor,
Yeah.
the subject. Once you've generated that perfect image, let's say it's our blonde young man in the blue hoodie, you click it, drag it into the subject box, and then, this is important, you click the little tick or checkbox to activate the lock.
That actor is now hired and anchored.
Yeah.
And the efficiency you gain here is just immense.
Wait, hold on. If I lock the subject, are you saying I can just cut out most of my description? I don't have to keep writing blonde boy in blue hoodie for the next 100 images.
You never have to write it again. You've replaced that description with visual memory. So your prompt only needs to describe the new location or the action.
That's amazing. So the prompt just becomes walking through a busy street in Tokyo at night, neon lights reflecting on wet pavement, cinematic atmosphere.
And the result is the same boy, same hoodie, same features, instantly transplanted into that new, hyper-detailed environment.
It's like hiring the same lead actor and just moving them from one movie set to another.
Exactly. It's a huge shortcut for any kind of sequential content. Next up, let's look at that second powerful lock: the scene.
The scene lock. This is for when you need to keep the location fixed. The exact room, the lighting, the camera angle, all of it.
You're building a permanent movie set.
You are. So you start by creating a really detailed space. Something like a hyper-realistic interior of a cozy mountain cabin at night. Large glass windows showing a heavy snowstorm outside. A warm fireplace glowing.
Very specific. I can picture it.
Once you have that perfect cabin image, you drag it into the scene box and you lock it. Now, every new image you generate happens right there.
Okay, so once the scene is set, you can remove the old subject image or just leave that box empty and write a new prompt focusing on who or what you want to place there.
So we can write a cute golden retriever puppy sitting on the floor of the room.
And the puppy just appears?
It just appears right there in the fixed cabin. The walls, the fireplace, the window. It's all perfectly unchanged. It's how you keep connected stories visually coherent.
So if both the subject and the scene are locked, what's left to customize? What can the text prompt still change?
Well, primarily, specific actions that you write in the new prompt. But also, critically, style changes. The geometry is set, but the visual vibe can still be completely transformed.
Which brings us to that third pillar: style. The style box manages the soul of the picture, the art language.
Right. Is it a real-life photo? A messy watercolor? Maybe that whimsical claymation you mentioned? This is where you set the texture and the color palette?
And you don't have to be an art historian. You just find a sample image that has the kind of lines or color grading you like and drag it into the style box.
An effective style prompt could be something like whimsical claymation style, soft lighting, vibrant pastel colors, textured clay surfaces.
And that gives the AI all the cues it needs for the look?
Now imagine the power of triple locking.
Okay.
You lock the blonde boy as the subject, the Tokyo street as the scene, and this claymation vibe as the style.
Whoa. So you'd get a picture of a clay Tokyo street with that same recognizable clay boy. Consistent features, but a totally different material.
The consistency is total. And that's the moment of wonder, right? When you realize you can scale this up to produce a full animated series or professional storyboards with perfect visual consistency.
It changes everything for high-volume creators.
Absolutely. And you can use almost anything to define the style, like a high-quality landscape photo. Its color theme can define the style for a close-up portrait.
So the color grading matches perfectly across different kinds of images?
It's pure visual cross-referencing.
Okay, so once you have your perfectly consistent image, Google Whisk gives you two final options for fine-tuning: edit and refine.
And they serve very different functions. Knowing when to use which one is really key.
So edit is for the big stuff.
Big changes, replacements. You type change the blue hoodie to a red leather jacket or add a pair of mirrored sunglasses. It replaces elements completely.
And refine is more subtle.
Refine is the final polish, making the sky a little brighter, fixing a small glitch, ensuring the face clarity is perfect. It's the touch-up tool.
And then there's this huge control knob hidden away in the settings menu, the precise reference switch.
Oh yeah, this is a big one.
When that switch is on, the AI follows your subject sample with incredible fidelity, near 100% accuracy.
It locks down every single detail. But when it's OFS, the AI is much more free. It takes inspiration from the subject, but it allows for variation.
Which is what you need if you want your character to show different facial expression.
Exactly. Fear or laughter or changing their pose without you having to manually define every little muscle movement.
You know, I'll admit, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when I try to get characters to express emotion.
Oh, me too. It's a constant battle.
You ask for a scowl, you get a smirk. So that precise reference switch, that sounds incredibly useful for getting that creative variance without losing the core identity.
Now, here's an advanced tip, but it's a critical one.
Okay.
Simplicity is key when the sidebar is locked. If the subject and scene are already locked visually in the sidebar, keep your main text prompts simple, like just type eating ramen or running in the rain.
Because if you write a long, detailed paragraph describing the blonde man in the blue hoodie eating ramen,
the AI starts getting confused. It's trying to balance the perfectly locked visual sample with this huge pile of redundant words. The AI starts to fight itself, trying to balance the locked references with the unnecessary text. Keep the prompt focused only on what needs to change.
Got it. Okay, let's quickly synthesize the core tools we've covered in this deep dive.
The subject box. It remembers the face, the body, the clothing, and the pro tip is still. Start on a plain background.
The scene box.
Yeah.
It keeps the room structure, the lighting, the camera angle fixed. You are building a repeatable, permanent set.
Style copies the art language, the materials, the texture, the colors, turns a photo into a pencil sketch instantly.
And finally, edit handles the large-scale replacements, while refine is for the final polish.
And this opens up some incredibly practical, real-world applications. Take social media. You can create a recognizable virtual model for your brand. That model can consistently introduce products, travel the world. It builds immediate brand recognition through a consistent visual identity.
And for storytelling, this tool is priceless. Storyboarding used to be this massive time sink for artists, right? Redrawing characters over and over.
Frame after frame, now you just anchor the character once and you can instantly throw them into different camera shots.
Imagine locking a character, like a cybernetic dog, as this subject, and using a prompt like detailed pencil sketch style storyboard panel, the dog looking surprised, high angle shot.
You get a professional comic book frame, perfectly consistent, in seconds. This completely changes the economics of visual storytelling.
So this whole process is really just a smart puzzle game based on visual layering.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. The AI doesn't get tired.
And remember to manage your library. Always favorite the images that are beautiful or useful, and save the seed number if you like a particular layout.
You can even use the animate feature for short moving videos if you have the credits. But most importantly, we want to challenge you to practice this right away.
Okay.
Go to Google Labs, create a simple character, maybe a quirky cat in boots, and use the subject box to lock that cat.
And then?
Then place that anchored cat into a hyper-detailed outer space background. Go solve that puzzle and just feel the power of consistent creation.
So what does this all mean for the bigger picture? If this level of precise, repeatable control now makes professional, consistent storyboarding nearly instant and accessible to anyone, what happens to the demand for human conceptual artists in a few years?
That's the heavy question, isn't it? How do human creators shift their focus when the machine can handle the grunt work of visual consistency? Something for you to mull over until our next deep dive.